You're listening to Houston Real Estate Radio. I'm your host, Shannon Register, and every week we bring you news and information you can use on your next real estate transaction. If you've got a real estate question, give us a call, 844-788-9444. You can give us a call at 844-788-9444. Leave your real estate question, and we'll answer it here on the show between 11 and noon on Sunday. So this segment, we are talking about pools, because pools are an important part of your real estate transaction. You have to decide whether you want a house with a pool or without a pool. And then if you're going to get a pool, are you going to install a pool? Or are you going to buy a house with a pool? And then are you going to buy a house with a new pool or an older pool and renovate it? There are so many decisions when it comes down to pools and your house. So that's what we're talking about today. I've got Brett Hatfield here. He's from Downunda Pools. And, it's important. It's so important because we do so much outdoor living now. A pool and the backyard ambiance can sell a house. And I know that you know that. I mean, that's why you're tied very heavily to the real estate industry, because you know a pool can sell a house. It may not add as much value as you want it to add, but it can certainly sell the house quickly. And if someone wants to buy a house and look at putting a pool in, they need someone like you to come out and say whether it'll fit or not.
And that's true. And there are different guidelines in different areas throughout Houston. In certain areas of Houston that have been annexed by the city, and so therefore you come under City of Houston guidelines, and you have to abide by all their codes. Mm-hmm. If you're still in the county, there are things that you can do that give you a little more leeway. Doesn't mean it can't be built properly. Right. It has to be built and engineered correctly. Yeah. But you don't have quite as stringent guidelines in terms of how close can you be to the house and so forth with structure.
Would you say that in most backyards you can put a pool? Because there are a lot of realtors who will walk in a backyard and say, oh, you can never fit a pool back here. But I've seen some pools go in some tight spaces and look really amazing.
You can. And once again, it's just about design. In most spaces, there's only been, in all of my years of doing this, I don't know that there've really been that many that I've turned around and said, you know what, there was one actual factor last year that I had. It was just such a tight, and we could have put a pool in there, but the problem was access, especially downtown with all the tear downs and the rebuilds. Yeah. And so they're rebuilding with a slightly larger footprint on the lot with pervious and non-pervious coverage. And then now all of a sudden you can't get in there with equipment to dig the pool. So right. Then it becomes even more cost prohibitive to dig it by hand.
Mm-hmm. The cost you can do that?
Yeah, you can. It's well, then there's a lot of other creative ways that we've explored, with conveyor belts to convey the dirt out with a conveyor belt rather than trying to wheelbarrow it, because you don't have the space. Wow. I mean, some of these places are really, really, really tight.
For the person who wants to have a pool built that's never had a pool, walk us through the process. What is that process?
Process is simply give us a call and let's just have a conversation and just talk about what you want to do, budget expectations. Mm-hmm. I'll always give you an idea of where our projects start and where they end, so that we can be sure that we're a good fit. Let's sit down and have a discussion to make sure that we can get on, because regardless of who you go with, whether it be me or somebody else, you're going to have a relationship with that person. Right. You're going to be together for quite a while. Mm-hmm. So it's making sure that you can all get on, you can resolve issues together. Next thing will be is we design in 3D, so I need not a resized copy of your survey. Okay. And then I take a look at easement situations, whether you have a UE or whether you have an AE, because that brings along a whole new set of problems. Right. And then once we sit down and I get some ideas from you, the client. I need keywords. I think things that are near and dear to you. Sometimes we have conflicts. Mrs. likes something other than Mr. Right. And so it's my job to get in there and to give them both a little bit of of what it is that's on their wish list. So from there, once we get into, I'll come out there, we'll take photographs of the lot. I like to take a look at the architecture of the home, do some landscaping inventory, see what's there, how we can play to certain aspects and features of the lot, and then we'll go away. We'll start the design process. We don't part with any of our designs right up front. Once we have an agreement, then you'll get a copy of it. But I don't mind coming out there and visiting with you, and so that you can see it. We design in 3D, so you'll actually physically see your house. We can fly through it and fly around the yard. It's really cool. So once we get to, it is kind of fun, or can be. So once we start to go through, once I've got an initial concept down, we'll come out and visit, and I go through what I call design development. At that point, it's like, wow, Brett, we really like this, but can you make this bigger? Or we think we'll spend more time here. Can you change this over here? So we'll then go through and we'll do a revision, and I'll revise the drawing, and then the next time we go back, I'll have numbers for you and kind of move along from there. People always ask me how long it takes to build a pool, and you know what?
Is that with or without the weather?
Well, it's one of those, and the weather does play a bit of a factor. But I can tell you, we've built pools in a pretty smart fashion. But given the industry, if you understand the construction industry, those kinds of speeds and expectations can't be maintained. They're not sustainable. And so I will always tell you that it's going to take longer than it really will. So I'm going to under-promise and over-deliver, because there's things that will come along that you just didn't foresee. It's like, oh wow, where'd that come from? And it can sometimes destroy a timeline on a project.
Yeah. All right. Well, we appreciate the great information. So, okay, once you've got the design and you're actually starting, what's the first thing? You take down the gate and bring in the equipment?
We'll bring down the fence. Yep, we'll get access. We'll come in there. Day one is going to be pretty clear. You think that excavation is going to be really messy. In actual fact, it's not that bad, except for the mud on the driveway, which is all. We'll clean all that off. We'll excavate. Day two, we'll come out there. We'll steel it. So it'll look like you have a big fry basket in your pool. As we go through each phase, we understand everybody's really busy, but we do like to keep in contact, or Ron, my project manager, will keep in contact with you to let you know we're at this and just need you to put your eyes on it, even though we all agree. It's all about expectations once again, just in case you've changed your mind on something. Day two would be steel. Day three, we'll stub it out. So we'll have all the positioning for all the plumbing and what have you. The spa, if we have a spa, putting all the plumbing in the spa. Day four, we will actually shoot the pool. It'll have garnite in it. So we'll actually, for all intents and purposes, we can have your pool in within 4 days. Excuse me. But that's not the timeline. Then it slows down and then the mess starts, because we have to dig these big trenches around the pool in order to plumb it and to put electric to the pool. These processes take a while, and one of the longest processes is going to be tile and coping. Most important, because that's what you see.
Right. Yeah. You have to water the pool while you're waiting on it?
You do have to water the pool. So why do you need to water the pool? So to kind of give you an idea, it's a little bit like your skin. You put moisturizer on your skin to stop it from cracking and drying out. It's the same with concrete. Concrete has calcium chloride in it, and you can feel the heat coming out of it right after it's been shot. So once we finish shooting the pool, probably within an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, you can actually go down there and walk around inside of it. It sets up that fast, but it generates a lot of heat as it's curing. So and it needs to cure for a minimum of 5 days. We actually keep going in those 5 days because there's things that we can do that we don't have to be applying any materials to the substrate. So you put water on it to keep it cool, keep it hydrated, and it helps to keep the spalling, what they call spalling, which are spider cracks that appear in the concrete when it dries out too fast.
Very good. All right. Lots of great information about pools today from Brett Hatfield from Downunda Pools. And your website is downundapools.com, right?
Yes, it is. And down under, let me spell it out for you because we wanted to be a little bit different. So that's DOWNUNDAINC pools.com. Sorry, not INC.
Downundapools.com.
Yep.
I love it. All right. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors here on Houston Real Estate Radio. If you missed any of today's show, you can watch it online. We have the videos online at HoustonRealEstateRadio.com.